BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
I hope you've been enjoying the coverage on Northern Pacific Airways over recent days. If you happen to have missed a video including the interview with the CEO, do be sure to go back and check on the channel. However, now we move to Asia and that of Korean Air and Asiana Airlines, two major airlines within the industry that, if you were unaware, are actually in the process of merging together. That would see the pair join forces and become a mega airline. It's also a move that is still currently in the phases of regulatory approval, with the exact specifics behind the deal also being finalised. According to findings by that of the CEO Score Daily, with a link to their article below, which will need to be translated, Korean Air is actually in the process of changing its logo, or at least has filed for an application to do so. A logo change is a big step for any company, especially so in the aviation industry, as it's a change of identity ultimately, and definitely marks a new era. It's also something that primarily within the industry is not done all that frequently. Korean Air adopted the, if you will, iconic Pepsi-type logo design that they have nowadays back in the 1980s. Before that, a change came in 1969, so this gives you a great idea of typically just how long it can be before an update is completed. This, though, in some cases can be even longer, or sometimes it's shorter. Of course, it definitely depends, but typically it's a lengthy period before they do make the change. The logo that Korean Air recently applied for a trademark is now on your screen, and this was sent through towards the Korean Intellectual Property Officers and is a more modern interpretation, if you will, of the current logo we see with Korean Air. However, essentially the most significant difference is the removal of the intense reds and blues, with a color tone that is cohesive throughout now, and a logo that has definitely been simplified, smoothed out, and all-round modernized for the future. It reminds me personally of the Airbus logo. Now, of course, this is only at a first glance, I do admit. On the surface, I do really like this logo. However, what I should mention is, in comparison to the previous ones and the current one, it's probably not as much to my liking. What are your thoughts? You can let me know down below. The merger between the two airlines will see Korean Air absorb Asiana Airlines. Exact specifics of where the aircraft will be headed, employees and so forth have not yet been revealed to the public to the extent, as an example, where we can say the 747s will be headed here, the 747s may be headed to the scrapyard. And according to the most recent comments from the executives, they've not themselves finalised that either. What we do know from the vague comments we've heard is that the low-cost units will benefit significantly from the merger, with a lot of attention also being put on these airlines from employees to the fleet, and I guess you could generally say growth plans. It'll definitely be interesting to see the two airlines come together and see how they re-emerge within the aviation industry. If you have any thoughts, do be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. Do take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time.